Hello, dear friends, and thanks for tuning into Taste Radio, the #1 podcast for anyone building a business in food or beverage. I'm Ray Latif, the editor and producer of Taste Radio, and I'm with my co-hosts for this episode, John Craven, Jackie Brugliera, and the sneezy Mike Schneider.
I think I just swallowed a bug.
Oh my God.
Ooh. I think I did. Pretty sure.
Geez. Yeah, we got a little bit of a bug problem. They're tiny bugs. They're gnats here in the office.
Yeah, we're getting rid of them.
They haven't attacked the studio until today. So,
I think they're following Mike.
Yeah.
You know what? What'll help?
You're blaming me.
Come on, I want to get a dig in on them. I was going to say,
I stole your thunder.
Some better hygiene might help us out a little, Mike. Come on, jeez.
It's all the numpty strikes I've been smoking.
Can't deal with the bugs.
The what?
My new cigarette brand, Numpty Strikes. You don't know about that?
No.
Oh yeah.
It was I created.
I'm thinking about leaving BevNET to start my new.
You guys are really, really old school. Nobody's even going to make that reference. Lucky Strikes, Numpty Strikes. I mean, Jackie doesn't even know what Lucky Strikes are. No,
Thank goodness.
It's
Thank goodness no one gets it.
It's a very, very old school cigarette brand. The tagline used to be Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Yeah.
Remember that? Anyway.
I mean, this is such an innovative brand that I can light my mouth on fire without a cigarette and blow smoke out.
Oh,
That's what
wow.
happens in the AI videos.
I don't see people smoking cigarettes anymore. It's like once in a great while.
They're vaping now.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more incognito.
Am I going to offend all residents and citizens of Chicago if I say I wouldn't be surprised if there are more people who smoke cigarettes in Chicago than in Boston? Yes, that is offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
would
shouldn't say
so.
that.
I
Okay.
mean,
Well, I
sure.
said it. All right. But anyway.
It's an interesting segue.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that we are heading to Chicago, taking the show on the road. A Taste Radio meetup is now being planned for the great Windy City. August 14th is the day. That's a Thursday. We're going to be hosting it at a place called Hoste Cocktails Event Hall in the Pilsen neighborhood of Chicago. This is an event space that I'm really excited about. So Hoste Cocktails is a maker of ultra premium bottled cocktails. They have a gold fashion. They have a mezcal Negroni. They have a bunch of other cocktails that are just phenomenal. And so Hoste has this brand new event space that we'll be hosting a Taste Radio meetup at. Attendees will get to sample.
Meta. I love it.
Attendees will get to sample the cocktails and a whole bunch of other food and beverage that will be present at the meetup. So,
Do we have a link yet?
yes, we do. It's tasteradio.com/Chicago. Do you know how to spell Chicago?
CHICAGO.
That is correct. All right. So stay tuned
I
for that.
spent quite a bit of time in Chicago. I'm looking forward to Chicago event.
Everyone is really peppy today. What is going on? Is it the heat? The heat's got everyone's
Oh my
brains.
gosh, it's 99 degrees out today.
The bugs have them on edge.
I guess so.
It's the extra protein.
It's the Red Bulls we chug before each episode.
Clear.
Extra protein for inhaling all the
Clearly.
bugs.
If you are interested in being a part of the meetup, if you would like to participate as a sponsor, let us know. Just send me an email, rlatif@bevnet.com. We would love to highlight your brand, your company on our media assets, invite you for a quick interview at the meetup, participate in the most exciting event that Chicago will have all year. So
That's a bold statement.
I'm making it. It's not hyperbole. This is one that everyone's going to be at. So
Like
just to let
Beyonce
you know.
didn't go to Chicago this year?
No, but Jay-Z was at our New York event. He was just in the back. He was all in the back. No one saw him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we have more meetups coming out throughout the year as well. September 16th in San Diego, September 18th in San Francisco, and October 2nd in London. So stay tuned for more details on those meetups coming up soon. All right, John, I actually missed this story yesterday, but I saw you posted on LinkedIn about it being one of the weirdest stories that you've seen in CPG. And it's about a brand called BetterBrand. And they're best known or infamously known for their Better Bagel, which is a high-protein, low-carb bagel.
Was is the keyword.
Was, yes. High-protein, low-carb bagel presented as a better future for food. And they've pretty much had all kinds of problems since the jump. One of the biggest problems was that the bagels were shipped and delivered, customers would open up the package and find out that the bagels were moldy and inedible, obviously. So that was like
There's no protein in
baseline.
mold.
That was like the baseline problem.
Even when they weren't moldy, they weren't good.
They weren't that great, no, unfortunately. Yeah. And it turns out that even though demand seemed to stay high, or there seemed to be some interest in these products, despite all the bad reviews, they weren't able to pay their partners. So bag suppliers, lenders, ingredient suppliers, they had a pretty big problem making payments. And they are now being sued for not paying a $500,000 loan. This was reported by our very own Adrian DeLuca yesterday, July 23rd. As it's written in the story, BetterBrand was sued by Oklahoma-based lender JSD Management and Consulting for breach of contract, as well as potential unjust enrichment of defaulting on payments for a $500,000 loan. Apparently, they've been chasing founder Aimee Yang down, trying to serve her with this lawsuit, and she can't be found. They can't find Aimee anywhere. So I don't know what's going on here. John, do you know what's going on here?
Well, she did supposedly take some trips to Europe too, according to some of the coverage with the investor money, right?
Yikes.
I don't know. It's really strange. I think, I said on LinkedIn it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in CPG. I think Andrea Hernandez from Snackshot had a nice, it's the Theranos of CPG. It's just really odd. I mean, obviously there are, unfortunately, plenty of CPG companies that take investor money and don't work out or have problems of some unforeseen kind, but founder literally being like completely off the grid is, that's a new one.
Yeah, and to your point, the company had raised $10 million in venture funding to date, then laid off its entire staff in September. Its Shopify site was temporarily shut down in early October, sparking rumors the business was shutting down. But Aimee did tell Nosh at that time there was no truth to the shutdown rumors. Instead, blaming the downside and a group of former employees she claimed to conspire to steal money and inventory from the company. This sounds like a bad Law and Order, doesn't it, Jackie? I don't know.
It does. It sounds, messy.
Yes, messy is a very good word for
messy,
it. Yes.
And a lot of drama and trying to scapegoat people. And it just, from the moldy bagels on, it was just going downhill.
Yeah, it really was. And the weirdest thing is that, look, not everyone is the most honest person in CPG. We know this. This is fair. But the dishonesty and the mistrust and the misuse of resources and funds just seems to be at its absolute peak. I've never seen anything like this, where this lies upon lies, bad products, not delivering on anything to anyone. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, I think also it's just really strange, again, that you have a founder who's completely just, it's not like she deleted social media profiles, but she's clearly just, disconnected from everything. And that's kind of an interesting strategy in terms of dealing with this, because obviously it's completely one-sided and looks, even if there were at this point some sort of semi-legitimate explanation for any of this, the optics of just being, crickets and ghosting everyone and everything is bad. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious what happens. To be honest, chasing down, a $500,000 bank line that hasn't been paid is probably not worth that much of a bank's time or money, and who knows,
Well, according to the article, numerous businesses, including branding firms, ingredient suppliers, as I mentioned, 3PLs, and packaging suppliers, have reached out to Nosh over the past 8 months, stating that BetterBrand and Yang owe them significant sums ranging from a few $100,000s to millions. So while this bank loan...
Well, that's the company owes them, not her personally. So.
Right, but what I'm saying is yes, maybe a bank can just write it off, a $500,000
I'm looking forward to the Netflix special.
Well,
it's going to be the best
But I'm
since...
saying there are other companies out there that can't lose that kind of money.
Let me give you a little education here.
Okay,
Ray.
here we go. Here's my MBA from John Craven. Here we go.
A bank line from a bank probably has a personal, or possibly has a personal guarantee.
Possibly.
On the other hand,
they call it secured versus unsecured.
There you go.
There you go.
And generally speaking, that's probably how that whole thing went down.
Yes.
Vendors, on the other hand, don't have that. So company goes bankrupt, there's no chasing down anything if the company doesn't have assets
Correct.
that are worth liquidating, which I'm going to guess at this point, it just didn't look like there was anything significant there. I mean, again, that's the part that's just unfortunate, normal stuff that happens in business and CPG. Company goes out of business. Vendors are left, holding the bag, unfortunately. The skipping town on like a bank line, that's a little more strange. So,
Yeah, usually they just go to jail like Anna Sorokin did. And
Well, I think the lesson here is that, look, pride does come before the fall, but you gotta fall sometimes, and I think just call it a day. I think Aimee.
well,
I mean, if everything here is true,
Sure.
and it certainly sounds like it is, I think the lesson for entrepreneurs is if things are going wrong, sometimes it's better to admit defeat before everything
100%.
goes.
Because
Yes.
at this point, I don't know what Amy's means are, but you ever want to get a job again or do anything, anyone Googles you, geez, I mean, that's going to be not good.
No.
That's completely wrecking your own, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it personal brand, but I'll call it personal brand for lack of some other way to
the company is Better Brands.
Anyway.
And that's the weird part, just keeping social media up, saying that these are rumors and that they're not going out of business. There's a lot of effort to keep this company around for, only for her to be dragged through the mud.
There's probably more weird stuff we don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I will admit to being a part of indirectly part of the hype machine, because I interviewed Aimee 3 years ago for an episode of Taste Radio, and maybe this was a red flag back then because
She snuck out the back door of the studio.
during the interview,
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
during the interview, she talked about her roots in entrepreneurship, which, and this is quoted in the article, in the interview, her roots in entrepreneurship began with, quote, childhood loan sharking. So yes, it's,
Oh,
how about that?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I don't want to be called to the stand. It's just listen to the interview, folks. Anyway.
interesting.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
I think we've had our say on BetterBrand, and hopefully this all gets worked out. It probably won't.
Great. We're face to face with this person.
Can I ask you a question? Have you seen these new beverage alcohol products that are described as hard refreshers?
Yeah.
They're not hard seltzers. They're not beers. They're not cocktails. They're described as hard refreshers. They are non-carbonated, as far as I know, and they look like hydration beverages.
Yeah, that Light Strike's going to get a 13-year-old
So,
drink.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what's gonna
that one
happen.
in particular, I don't, that's a product of New Belgium.
It just-
Total respect for them, but
Just so the audience
that
knows
is a
what we're-
confusing package.
Yeah, just so the audience knows what we're talking about. The product I have in my hand is from a brand called Light Strike, and it definitely looks like
A prime
a Gatorade,
competitor.
right? A prime competitor, a Gatorade type product. On the front, there is a button that says contains 21 or contains alcohol 21 plus.
21%? That would be great. No.
Wow.
Well, it's weird. Like in the middle of the button says 21 plus, and then around it says contains alcohol. Light Strike is written vertically. It describes itself as a hard refresher, 5% alcohol by volume. Orange mango, another
Yeah, this
key
vessel is
flavor
vessel's-
for sports drink
This is a
brand. It's
recipe
really
for
weird.
disaster here. Some kid's gonna pick this up and not be able to read that it contains 21% alcohol. Think it's a prime. Think their brother or sister found a new prime.
This feels like recipe for lawsuit, to be more specific. But I think the brand is cool. I just think the overall sort of trade dress, if you will, especially because the text that says hard refresher, 5% alcohol is vertical and in a font that's, I would say, slightly hard to read. It looks like something that should be next to prime.
They probably should have someone follow you around with that thing, just so they make sure the right person drinks it.
I also do think that this is we've talked a lot on this podcast about, for example, the proper package for the right use occasion. And, we've talked about that with cannabis a bunch and the weirdness of showing up with a chocolate bar when, a beverage that looks like other beverages kind of blends in and seems appropriate. And this to me kind of has that similar problem where, showing up to occasions where people are consuming alcohol, like this looks like an odd format for that. And it doesn't look like an odd format in terms of maybe discrete alcohol consumption, which, forgetting about like kids, it seems like a product that someone might drink when they shouldn't be consuming alcohol.
I mean, this feels like, when we first saw Athletic and Bill Schufelt told us, I want to make a beer for when you're done running, and it looks like a beer. So you could have it at the finish line or at halftime or of a soccer game or something like that. And it is in similar packaging, although I think, the opposite problem is in play here. If you drink an Athletic and you're expecting to get a buzz, you're not going to get one. So that's probably okay.
Right.
In this case...
Did you say you're probably not going to get one?
You're probably not going to get a buzz.
I would say so.
You're probably not. Placebo can happen, right?
Sure.
But in this case, you don't want one, you're going to get one. That's the problem here.
So the reason I bring this up is because our very own Zoe Licata, who's our colleague, who is a senior staff reporter for Brewbound, wrote a story that's titled, I Know a Hard Refresher When I See One. And the other product that I have in my hand is one that's called Happy Thursday, also described as a spiked refresher. This is a Molson Coors product. And the goal is to create something that's a balanced, bright, non-carbonated option that creates no bloating and burning for the consumer. Also, this one's in a can, so it's not in a bottle, but it looks
like
a soda/energy drink. What they're really pointing out here that it's bubble free. So there's a bubble free.
That could be a cocktail though too.
Well, it could, but I mean, look, I think obviously we spend all day, every day looking at beverages and CPG products. That to me, when I first saw that, I was like thinking, ooh, this is like a mood product or some adaptogenic thing. And, but still, I feel like I could be sold on this being, a unique approach to alcohol. I think that one's easier to figure out.
But it's not that far away from what I have in my hand right here, which is the Santa Fe, which has some, alcohol cues on it too, with the big citrus on it. And
that's an Arizona product. It's Santa Fe sparkling water.
Right,
product.
Santa Fe sparkling water, real fruit juice, lemon citrus, obviously a Spindrift competitor. Tasty stuff, by the way, but still, like, you could mistake this for alcohol.
I think in general, like beyond the whole mistaking it for, I thought this was non-alc and it is actually alcohol. I think like just the blurring of lines is interesting. I think like Gen Z is reaching for something that they would like to drink anyways, but just happens to have alcohol in it. Like, for example, like Beatbox has crushed it with Gen Z and they're in a Tetra Pak and they look like something that might be juice, but it's an alcoholic product. Or they're drinking Buzz Balls again, which was something that no one drank, and now they're drinking that because it's approachable flavors, things that they know.
Cheap
it
alcohol.
Tastes sweet. It's cheap. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think what Jackie said was like kind of the last thing I was going to say, which is like, this ultimately is one of those things where it is kind of like, I don't know, it is like the beatbox challenge of like, certainly alcohol in Tetra Pak containers was kind of not a thing, but now it is. And I don't know, I mean.
Yeah, that is a fair point there. That Beatbox has done just a fantastic job of, you look at their package and you know what you're going to get. And they're doing a great job with their brand, and their brand has some great brand equity now. And it's going to take a while for somebody to start to think that could have alcohol in it. The bottle that you're holding right now, which looks like Prime and Moss Plus, could have alcohol.
Yeah, okay. Well, John Craven has some...
Hot off the presses here, I was going to say a limited edition, but I guess it's kind of another limited edition Liquid Death product. This one being the Deathberry Inferno, which has on the back a riff on the parental explicit lyrics.
Oh, I see. Okay.
With parental warning, extremely spicy.
Oh, really?
So,
oh boy,
Mike was calling BS on this, so we're gonna let him go first.
Yes,
call
I get
BS.
to watch
All right,
this.
here, pass this one
what
down.
I said was, is this going to be like when Jackie tried
The Pocky.
the Pocky?
Oh, the
chip?
Pocky. Oh, God.
I can smell.
feel like-
I can smell the heat.
Oh no, I'm in trouble.
What kind of pepper is it? Is it like...
Yeah, that happened to me too.
The aroma is immediately gag-inducing.
All right, here we go.
All right, he hasn't
Oh, he
passed
went
out
for
yet.
2. So it's not that bad.
It's
Or
really
is it
tasty.
Builds?
No, it's like John, you like Werner's, right?
Sure.
Werner's is like that barrel-aged ginger ale.
No barrel aged, just pictures of barrels.
Just pictures of barrels. It has
a lot
that
of corn syrup.
barrel-aged flavor, but it always would make you sneeze when the bubbles are
Yeah, the
just amazing.
spicy ginger.
Spicy
yeah,
bubble.
I mean,
And this is really good.
If you, I mean, this would be a better one to drink out of the can because we poured it in a little glass and you get your nose in there and
Yeah.
I had to just hold my breath and take a sip. It's not that spicy.
It's not that spicy. It's actually pretty delightful. It does remind me a bit of
I mean,
like a take on Werner's.
I don't know if I'd call it delightful. To be honest, why would you drink this stuff?
I like it. I think it's nice.
Like, could you drink a whole can?
This is the opposite of refreshing.
I mean, you could, but
not refreshing.
The actual berry flavors kind of mid, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a gag.
Yeah, it's a gag.
Yeah, literally. It's a gag. Literally. I mean, you can't...
I chose
You-
my
you
words
can't-
wisely, right?
You can't smell this thing. If you do, you're going to gag.
Yeah, I mean it's spicy. It's got a sort of I don't know, warming feeling as you drink it, but it's not like get me a glass of water, like crazy hot sauce.
Okay,
spicy.
well, I mean, everything Look Good Death does from a marketing standpoint is a bit of a gag. I mean,
sure.
that partnership they did with Whistle Pig, where,
yeah,
Whistle Pig aged
still waiting for my bottle, by the way.
whiskey in, what was it?
I'm sure it's at your house.
They aged whiskey in casks,
Yeah.
like literally like corpse casks, as opposed to barrels. And
With someone in it.
oh my gosh,
Ew.
this show has gone off the rails.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I look from a gag, I don't know, PR marketing perspective. I like the idea of Liquid Death playing in the realm of spicy. Like, that's a good idea. This one, I don't know, for first effort, it's not really Deathberry.
So the fine folks at FatBoy,
you have
which
to
is a
hold your
maker
breath to
of
drink it. Sorry, Ray. You have to hold your breath to drink it.
which is a maker of frozen novelty products. They have ice cream sandwiches, sandwich pops, et cetera, et cetera. They sent us a bunch of new products. I'm most interested in their churro sandwich, which is a cinnamon churro ice cream sandwich. It's new, and this is one of several new products that FatBoy has launched. This is a brand that's been around since 1925, so this is their 100-year anniversary. John just bit into their new mint cookie sandwich pop. This is definitely throwback stuff. If you want to go to an ice cream truck, you're at a soccer game or a kid's soccer game, all of a sudden, and it drives you crazy.
Is that how it goes?
And all the kids, rush to the ice cream truck. Yes.
It's just like that, right, Jackie?
Never
is.
heard one like that. But
Oh, that's exactly how it sounds.
It drives you crazy, and this is the kind of stuff that you find on the trucks. In fact, this actually might be a premium version of what you find on the trucks, because sometimes the finding stuff on the trucks is just completely awful. I will say that, there's a time and place for products like these. These look amazing. They look delicious.
When I'm deficient in blue and yellow food coloring?
Yeah, they're not better for you. Let's just put it out there. For this churro
They're
sandwich,
not claiming to be better for you. They're called FatBoy.
Well, they do call out real ice cream as opposed to fake ice cream, which is
I do like that.
good to know.
Yeah. I do want to eat this cinnamon churro cookie ice cream sandwich. I'm not going to do that right now, but just to call it a few other products that they created, they have a birthday cake sandwich pop, and they have a brownie sandwich pop. This is I wonder, Jackie, if this is and I'm not saying this in any way other than the fact that we've had historical conversation, or we've talked historically on this podcast about the brands of your youth. Did you eat this when you were a kid?
Are you a fat boy girl?
I'm not a fat boy girl. I was more of like, like those strawberry shortcake.
Yes, I love those.
Those were my favorite.
Those are so good.
Those are amazing.
Fat Boy probably makes that.
Yeah.
Or like the tacos, like the ice cream
Choco
tacos.
tacos.
Choco tacos?
Those are
Yeah.
gone. But the strawberry shortcake, oh my gosh, you really brought me to my youth there. Yeah,
Those
well
are my
done.
favorite. So yeah,
Those
no
are
fat
great.
boys for me.
But Fatboy also does make those really, really beat ice cream sandwiches with the really thin brown cookie thing on the top.
yeah.
Those were kind of like any port in a storm. If you needed to have ice cream, they were fine, but not good.
Now, can we talk about these products that are seemingly presented as better for you? These are protein donuts from Legendary
Oh,
Foods.
yeah. Yummy.
They come in 2 different varieties, vanilla glaze and pink sprinkle. There are 2 donuts per package, 20 grams and 0 grams of sugar per serving size. We've seen a lot of protein donuts come to market, some better than others. The problem I have with this is that I guess when you call something a functional product, or you're indirectly calling it because it's a protein donut, you would assume that the ingredients are higher quality than what I'm seeing in this.
Why would you assume that?
I don't know.
Higher quality necessarily equates with, I don't know, more function.
I guess it's more of a hope. I would hope that you're getting higher quality ingredients out of functional products. And this is clearly...
Have you looked at the protein bar set lately?
Yeah. But maybe just because I've seen other protein donut brands out there and they have had better for you ingredients. When I look at the ingredient list for these products, it's a lot.
How much protein's in it?
There's 20 grams per 2 donut serving.
Yeah.
So,
I'm with you, Ray. I feel like when I think of functional, also, I don't always think of protein. I think that's just like table stakes, whereas like the function comes from maybe other things beyond protein.
I mean, I think this, first of all, I really, we've seen this brand before. I like the brand. It's very visually captivating in the way they've
great
created
packaging for sure.
I feel like this is going for the low sugar, 5-gram net carbs here. It's kind of I don't know, again, more mainstream. This looks like something that is vying for that consumer who, again, just is looking at maybe the protein bar aisle. And as we talked about with certain other bars in past episodes, they're just trying to make something that's, I don't know, effective at whatever function they're after.
Now, people that are reaching for donuts aren't necessarily reaching for oatmeal, but perhaps that's a better for you option. Oatmeal, that is. Purely Elizabeth, which has been making oatmeal for a while, they have a new protein line of instant oatmeals. They have 3 varieties: maple cinnamon, chocolate chip banana bread, and apple harvest crumble. Each serving contains 10 grams of protein. They're all made with organic oats, buckwheat, and quinoa. The ingredients are all what you would expect. They're pronounceable, no artificial flavors, colors, et cetera, et cetera. So
let me get one of those. Sample hog.
This was in my office. Anyone can go into my office anytime and grab anything they want.
I do.
That's where the good stuff is.
This is what I'm talking about, though. If you're going to present yourself as a high protein product, then it would stand to reason that you would have better for you ingredients. I guess in this culture of we want clean labels, we are vying against brands that are trying to do better for the world. I'm sorry, Legendary Foods. I just don't know. I just would encourage you to clean up your ingredient list. That's all I'll say.
Well, I mean, purely, we can agree to disagree slightly on that one. But I think this is after that consumer that you were talking about for Legendary, and I don't know. I've never found a purely Elizabeth product that I don't enjoy. Definitely
Eating.
Expecting, yeah, and I mean, definitely expecting quality out of this one. I'm sure you'll let me try a packet or 2. So.
Half a packet.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I can only get the 5 grams of protein. So thanks, Ray.
What's the sugar content and what's the sweetener? I feel like with instant oatmeal, that's always the big challenge. It's just
great questions, Jackie.
full of crap.
There are 8 grams of sugar, 7 grams of added sugar, which is 14% of your recommended daily value. The sweetener is maple sugar and organic coconut sugar.
Okay.
Nice and
I
clean.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So well done once again, Purely Elizabeth. All right. I think we covered everything.
In case anyone was curious, the Legendary donut tasted like a donut.
There you go. I think that's
good.
what they're going
They
for.
delivered on taste.
Yeah, it was kind of like it had like an Entenmann's quality to it, which I did not dislike at all. I liked. Pretty good.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm just a hater.
Don't be a hater.
I mean,
I know, because I used to eat
understand what you're
Edmonds
saying.
donuts. I used to eat Edmonds donuts. I used to
I
love those.
understand what you're saying, but in this case, the better for you part of this is the 20 grams of protein.
Ray's like, I love these FatBoy churro sandwiches.
I never said that.
Man,
I did not say
Legendary's
that.
got to clean up their act.
Legendary.
I did not
Are we
say
trying
that.
this purely this week?
I did say I will
It's a
eat
packet
one
of
at some
oatmeal if you
point. I
want it.
didn't say I would like myself
Let's do it.
afterwards.
No, it's a packet of oatmeal.
I'm just gonna.
gotta eat
I'm just
it.
gonna, bro. I'm just gonna that oatmeal now.